Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful day.
You know, I noticed something.
What's that?
Our main picture there with us four in it.
Uh-huh.
Every one of us have the opposite of what we have in that picture as far as our facial hair goes. You got a full beard right now, but you don't in that picture. I've got a full beard, and I don't in real life. Jake's got him a full beard going on, and Julian's got that beard going on. He's all clean in his picture.
Well, it kind of looks...
My hair is cut short, too, in that photo.
Yeah.
It kind of looks from this angle.
Your mom called. She wants her beard back.
My mom is watching. She's gonna... We have a Cody.
Make sure she knows that was Cody.
Yeah. But anyway, we would like to say... What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Nerd Word, where the word is nerd. I am turning this off. I am HaplessLuckett.
I am Guymanbrodawg.
Fireball in the house.
I was told I looked like Joaquin Phoenix, so that is who I am today.
And of course, we have a good friend out there somewhere, just being out there. So that is our friend Cody Phipps. So how's everybody's weekend and whatnot and what stuff?
Man, my weekend is pretty good. I got some toy hunting in and got to spend some quality time that I needed.
That's nice.
About the same. Hunted with him. Got all kinds of goodies. Had a great weekend so far. Nothing to cry about.
You know, my weekend's been spent on the road. Been driving and collecting stuff for a project I'm working on tomorrow. So, gotta stop and hang out with her friend Quentin a little bit before coming over. Watch the Batman movie, Dark Knight Returns. So, you know, it's been a good day.
The Dark Knight Returns. That's the animated one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where Batman's a big boy. That's my favorite too.
Yeah.
Literally punches through a concrete wall that's like 4 inches thick and grabs a thug and just yanks him through into the darkness. It is the most ridiculous Batman.
That's why it's my favorite.
Oh my god! But I think that's one of my favorites as well, because I like it when Batman is just like, you know, fuck it. I'm about to die. Probably got like another 10, 15 years till my injuries finally catch up to me and I keel over. So he's like full-blown murder mode, and I love it.
That was actually one of the toys I picked up today. I picked up the Dark Knight Returns Superman action figure, the DC Multiverse. Yeah, that was one of them I picked up today. He's relatively new. So, yeah.
Is that all? Is that all you got while you were toy hunting?
No, I got a few other things, but that was the only thing relevant to what we were talking about.
Well, what else did you get?
Well, I picked up an Omni-Man from Invincible to go with my my Invincible that I already had, and thanks to my wonderful sons, I got all these. But I also got a variant of Lemillion in the Todd McFarlane My Hero Academia set.
Nice.
So that's all the way caught up. That's a full set right now. I'm not missing any.
Nice.
Proud to say.
Nice. So what did you get for your toy hunt? Because you said that you did some toy hunting too.
I didn't get too much. I got a Thanos statue.
It's dope.
Oh yeah.
From Contest of Champions, and it is hefty. It is hefty. It was like $50, but I got it for $22.
Where'd you get it at?
Was that at Target? I think Target.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's Target.
And then I got a couple blind bags and got screwed on them because they were both duplicates.
Oh.
And they were the same duplicate, so it's like I got 3 of the.
That's what that deserves right there. And Cirrus in the building. He says? What's happening, guys? What's happening?
Hey,
Cirrus.
welcome to the cast.
And actually, I think it's kind of funny. His name being Cirrus, that actually brings up one question that I have been thinking about with the end of Boba Fett. And I have been binge watching all the Harry Potter movies. It got me thinking, 2 of the most iconic villains in their area, with Lord Voldemort and Darth Vader. I just want to know what you guys think. If those 2 were to go at it at their peak, who would win?
Start with who?
Start
with who?
Oh yeah. I was just waiting for somebody to respond. It doesn't matter whoever wants to go first. Go speak.
So does Voldemort have to have a wand in order to cast his spells? Yes. I've never seen Harry Potter, so I don't know. But he has to have his wand. I don't
think he actually absolutely has to, but I think that's just one of the things that helps him out. I can't exactly remember.
I think it channels the power.
Yeah, because I've seen them do some magic without wands, but I think wand is like the primary source.
Okay. In that case, I think Darth Vader would definitely take it. He would just like force pull the wand away from him and then choke him out. He doesn't even have to get close. He can do it over like video chat. He can force choke someone out.
Yeah,
on
he's
video.
done it.
Space Bunzo said Vader 100%.
Yeah.
Vader
I'm with that too. I'm
100%.
going to go ahead and agree for the exact same reasons. No explanation necessary.
I don't know because
Speak
Voldemort...
first before
Well,
you start.
no. Well, I don't know because Voldemort can turn into like smoke mist and just float around all over the place.
Yeah.
And like they can just pop out of it and then say the curse and that's the end of Vader.
Yeah, because I feel like Voldemort, he may have that wand, but that doesn't mean like you can just literally pull it out of his hands. Like you can't just force pull it out because he is like he's one of the best of the best at sorcery. He's still a sorcerer. He's still a sorcerer and a wizard. So it's not. I mean, granted, he does have a catalyst and something that he would channel something through. So we got 2 in the chat for Vader, but he could just as easily use that wand and do twice as much damage to Vader.
I mean, if he gets the hit, maybe. If he actually lands something on Vader, it might do some work. But I really feel like Vader using the Force, being able to sense his presence, even if he goes into a smoke mist, he can sense the midichlorians. He knows where he is at all times. Vader is just way stronger and way more able to finish him off. I think Vader would win. I just don't think Voldemort's got the power that Vader does.
I think part of it too is like since these universes like don't exist together, we don't know if like Voldemort's magic, like that splashy beam that comes out of the wand, if that would like collide with a lightsaber or not. Because if so, then Darth Vader has another defense mechanism.
Yeah,
it's true.
And I mean, would we be safe to assume that it probably could? Is it like blaster fire at all, or?
All right, now Sirius in the chat says Voldemort got beat by a kid. Now, first before we do anything, you start saying anything.
They both did.
They both did.
They both did.
Luke was still young. Luke was still young.
That's true. He was a teenager.
Yeah, he was still a teenager, and so was Harry.
Adult.
Harry was still 18. And not only that, the reason that he beat Voldemort was because he was basically part Voldemort himself. So they were kind of fused together. But he also had to die. Harry had to be killed by Voldemort in order to kill Voldemort. So Vader went. Harry went through a lot more to take out Voldemort. It wasn't just cutting off his hand, getting his hand cut off, and then getting thrown into a pit. No, it wasn't. No, that was
I have
other
the
one
high
got thrown
ground,
into.
Julian.
But I feel like it's tough. But after sitting here debating, I do start to think that it may actually be Vader because Vader's literally destroyed planets.
Well, he didn't do that personally. He did that with an army and a Death Star. That was just orders. That's all that was. So that's not really fair. He didn't destroy a planet with his power. He destroyed a planet with his Death Star.
Does Voldemort have an army?
Voldemort does have an army.
He commands
Stormtroopers. Huh?
Voldemort does?
Or I'm sorry. The Death Eaters.
Yeah, he has his own
Too
army.
many V names.
And also, granted, and he almost took down an entire school. Like, okay, school. That sounds like dumb. That sounds like dumb. Like there's like a lot of the entire wizarding school world, like the wizarding
That's a whole
world.
community.
Yeah, like he almost took that down. And he's also been living on for years. He put his own soul. He was able to split his own soul into 7 different particles. So he's able to he's found a way to cheat death.
I mean, yeah, that may be true, but he didn't just be like, oh, split 7, boom. And
no, he had to kill 7 people.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of time. He can't just whip up spells like that and fight Vader in the heat of the moment with him.
No.
He would need time. But I just thought of something interesting.
What's that?
Voldemort versus Batman. Voldemort versus Vader. That's a VVV.
V for Vendetta.
That's VVV.
Remember, the 9th of November.
Was it the 9th? I thought it was the 8th.
The 12th of December.
It's the 5th of November. Like, we're horrible. Our math and our history is just really bad.
7th of June.
It's February 31st.
I'm so confused.
I don't know what
What
y'all
is
are talking
going
about.
on?
I'm sure they
I'm
don't either.
continuing to get the date wrong from the V Vendetta thing. Just, irritate Cody.
All right, and Sirius said Luke didn't even have to die. And this is true.
Yeah.
I agree. But again, Harry had to die because Harry was a Horcrux. Like, part of Voldemort's soul was in Harry Potter.
Right.
So it just goes to show that he was able to put part of his soul into somebody else.
I stopped reading Harry Potter halfway into Order of the Phoenix when I was like 12.
Mm.
And I've been meaning to pick that back up.
Yes, the books are
Where
always...
was the spoiler?
Well, first of all, those movies have been out for over 10 years.
Storm out.
Just storm out.
Shove you guys over here. Fucking
Hate you guys, man.
You asking for a spoiler on Order of the Phoenix is like somebody asking spoiler for Iron Man. It's like, where's the spoiler for Iron Man? Did you watch Endgame? Yeah. Shut up then.
There's your spoilers.
He did.
Speaking of spoilers, one thing that my friend Cody back there likes to do is likes to send me rumors and stuff for movies, and I hate it sometimes. He knows it. I love you, Cody. But there have been a lot of really good rumors that I think that are coming to fruition. Because a lot of rumors came out during like the No Way Home era. Everyone's putting out rumors, and a lot of them turned out to be true, which could be the same case for this Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Because for that last trailer we got a good earful of Professor X, and we saw them seats, which could mean the Illuminati.
And I seen the bald head.
And a bald head.
I seen the balding head, man.
That bald ass head can only mean one thing: the
Mind
ancient
control.
one.
Oh.
What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
What's
I gotta
happening?
chime in on this because
Oh,
I'm interested.
he's interested in the
Yeah,
Doctor
for
Strange.
sure.
So
All right,
yes,
all right.
because
Now,
there.
most of these are speculations more than rumors, but there are
Yeah.
rumors as well.
I believe
Isn't what a
what I
rumor?
see,
Isn't a
man.
rumor is?
Mm-mm. Speculation is just a theory. A rumor is this is going to happen, whether it does or doesn't.
I'm speculating your speculation definition is
It's
speculative.
a rumor.
I think it's spec on.
Well,
I think
speculation.
you're special.
So
And I enjoy your
for
company.
those who don't know, the Illuminati are the keepers of the Infinity Stones, the Infinite Stones, the Infinity Stones. We have Professor X, Doctor Strange,
Doctor Strange,
Reed Richards,
Black Bolt.
Black Bolt,
T'Challa was gonna
Superior
be when he
Iron
turned
Man.
it down.
And Namor.
and Namor.
And Namor, yep.
So a lot of those we haven't seen on screen. We haven't seen Namor. We haven't seen Black Bolt. We saw Black Bolt in the Inhumans, but I don't know how canon.
It's not
Right.
canon.
It's
at
not
all.
canon?
Well, it might be canon with the multiverse now. But
Yeah, this is true. It could, because anything technically.
Yeah, honestly,
If
the
Patrick-
multiverse made everything canon.
Because Patrick Stewart's coming back for the X-Men.
There's
True.
a theory out there that, when Kevin Feige approached Patrick Stewart about coming back to play Charles Xavier, he's like, well, is this going to diminish or is this going to not do justice what we kind of laid in the ground throughout the past 20 years as far as their characters go?
Yeah.
And it's the multiverse. He could be a variant of the X-Men films
Yeah.
as well.
That was one of the rumors that I heard, that he was a variant from the Days of Futures Past version of the X-Men, because that was literally like the bridge between the old X-Men and the newer
So
X-Men.
wasn't Logan in the new timeline?
Yes, they
Yeah.
were both part of the new timeline,
Yeah.
technically.
Okay, so do you think that hypothetically, they could go whatever way they want, the Illuminati version of Charles Xavier could be in a time before, say, maybe before he ended up having a seizure and killing everybody at the X-Mansion,
It's a possibility. Or what if it's actually James McAvoy's Charles, but it's Patrick Stewart's voice? Huh?
He did the
Huh?
for
That'd be
James
ridiculous.
McAvoy.
I think a lot of people would just be like, what the fuck? But I'm going with it.
All right, that's
you
too
know?
much fan service.
that would be horrible. But
I think I would prefer James McAvoy.
I would too,
over
especially
Patrick
after
Stewart.
seeing how he looked at the end of Apocalypse.
And he could play it longer.
He could.
He could
Yeah.
play the role for another 20 years like Patrick Stewart did.
Yeah, but hopefully, chances are we would get a new, like if we were to actually have like an X-Men movie, we'd probably get a different Professor X.
Yeah.
That variant as opposed to a previous variant. Those would probably just be the Guardians of, those would just be the Illuminati, and we'd probably never
Right.
see them unless we literally had to deal with the Illuminati.
I'm
Right.
getting a lot of Loki vibes too, because when the TVA, you mess up a timeline or you kick a rock and everything's different, you know,
Yeah.
the TVA is going to show up and be like, hey, you got to suffer for your crimes. But
What up, Jake?
So, does Bill Gates lead the people that you all just listed? Is Bill Gates going to make a cameo in this movie? Because he's a part of the Illuminati.
he could be.
Wrong Illuminati. Wrong one. The Marvel Illuminati.
Marvel's
Yeah.
Illuminati.
Yeah.
But now Bill Gates and his friends are going to come knocking on our door, thanks to you. And we're all going to pretend we don't know you, but we're going to tell you exactly where you live. But we just don't know you.
That's fine. I'll just join the Illuminati.
He's going to get a text saying, don't move.
So again, with a lot of these characters we haven't seen, we all know that if Superior Iron Man showed up, it's going to be Tom Cruise.
Mhm.
At least that's the rumor.
That's the rumor,
But
right?
and I've seen like images of him actually in that suit. He would be a good, honestly, if he were to play Tony Stark, I could see it because he
He
kind of
looked the
does
part.
look a lot like
Yeah.
the old comic version of Tony Stark.
He does.
It's going to be hard to replace RDJ, but if anyone can do it, it's Tom Cruise.
hmm
So, and you also heard that there's rumors of a John Krasinski variant of Mr. Fantastic,
Which would be awesome.
which would be cool. But does that mean that he would be Reed Richards from that point on? What do we think?
Well, I mean, if the same speculation exists that you guys had about Xavier, that it could be McAvoy, whatever, then that could mean every one of those could just be the Illuminati version of that character, and we get a whole nother one of all of them
I mean,
because of the
yeah.
multiverse. The speculations are endless because of it.
Well, see, my only thing is about that is if say they did bring Black Bolt was from the Inhumans TV show. If they brought him in, then it's obvious. It's like, oh, that's the same character that played them. Excuse me, fan service. So it'd be like, yes, I could see that.
Mhm.
Tom Cruise, he was originally cast as
Right.
Iron Man, so it's like, oh, I can see him playing as Iron Man. We've never seen John Krasinski as a
True
variant
that.
of Mr. Fantastic.
that.
It would make more sense to have the other actor who played Mr. Fantastic play Reed Richards,
Right, the legacy
and have
characters.
John Krasinski play the actual
Yeah.
MCU's.
Right. That makes good sense.
That makes a lot more sense as opposed to bringing him and he's like, oh, I'm Mr. Fantastic. Really? Because that'll get everyone's hopes up saying, because people have wanted that. People have wanted that. He said that he's wanted to play Mr. Fantastic. But if he shows up and he's sitting in a seat and then we never see him do any Mr. Fantastic shit. Like,
yeah, that's true. We want to see some stretchy
Yeah.
shit. We want to see some Stretch Armstrong, bendy arms.
Sirius saying he's
boy.
not feeling Tom Cruise in the MCU. And you were shaking your head about that too. What are you feeling about that?
I just don't know. I don't know yet. Like, I would have to see him in action before I can like determine how I really feel about it.
You
Yeah.
know, he's
But-
got that cocky attitude,
Yeah, he's
like
got it.
acting
Yeah.
style, in his movies. So he could definitely pull it off, but it would be a oneer,
Yeah.
if anything.
It wouldn't be something that he would be in for multiple movies. It'd be playing Superior Iron Man, and that would be it.
It'd be a one and done fan service thing.
Yeah.
Give the fans what they want, let them see it, and then change it up.
Now, who do we think about the other seats?
Here's what I'm
I
thinking.
don't know.
With Loki, like I said, you have the TVA, the Time Variance Authority, they're the time cops pretty much, and you have the Illuminati.
You'll have to speak up.
You have the Illuminati, who are the multiverse cops pretty much.
Yeah.
The council. So I'm thinking, since we had King the Conqueror introduced in Loki, what if we had, instead of Iron Man, who's already been done, you probably just want to do whatever. What if it was Iron Lad?
Iron Lad, and he technically
Because
is a
Kang-
variant
Kang
of
could
Kane.
be a part of the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Which King the
Ooh,
Conqueror.
that's a good theory.
He'll also be
Yeah.
the villain in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Well, it was actually Kang. He was confirmed as the villain, and we saw who Kang is. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be the Iron Lad Kang the Conqueror, who they'll be dealing with in
Because we have
Ant-Man.
Ultron bots too.
Yeah, we got Ultron bots too. Wasn't in a version of the comics Ultron a member of the Illuminati?
I don't think so.
I don't think Ultron was, no.
No, okay. So yeah, okay. So
But Supreme Iron Man was, and he had an army of Ultron bots with him in the comics.
yeah.
Cody, you might actually be right though. Like I think that seat that would otherwise be filled by Iron Man could be a variant of Kang, because I was watching this video with Dad, and that shot in the trailer where the Captain Marvel looking character was fighting Wanda, it was like slowed down, and then they like did something to like
they enhanced it.
Yeah,
they
put
enhanced
it
it
side by side.
And
with the
it
actor.
Yeah,
was
you
Kang.
saw it, and it looks just like
it was Kang, and
and it
what
looks
looked
like an
a
Iron
superior
Man suit.
Iron Man suit.
It was like all white. Yeah.
So you could.
I'm
You
thinking
could
you might
be
be on
right.
the right track with that.
See, I also
Speculation.
I heard that might have been Monica Rambeau as well as
There was a
When you look
beard.
at the close
I
up, there's
saw-
no way.
I
There
saw,
was a
like,
beard. There was
beard and
really
mustache.
short hair. She had
yeah
like beautiful hair.
yeah.
And yeah, it was a man. That was a male profile, and it looked just like the Kang.
What was
I was
that?
going to say that cockblock this entire theory is that, movies include things in trailers that aren't
That's
in the
true.
movie.
Yeah.
So that could
Yeah.
literally just be something they
Yeah,
have
that
in
could be
there
throwing somebody
to
off.
start conversations like that, and then feed into the
True.
multi-billion-dollar Disney machine. Disney, you need to pay us.
So we're coming up with the
Not
ideas
wrong.
for Marvel at this
Free
point.
promotion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they're following all of our news feeds. All right, that's a good idea. Right
Every
there. Down.
podcast,
That's
every
gotta touch
vlog,
Mickey
every.
Mouse. I just got a cease and desist from Walt Disney.
Kevin Feige. Who do you know?
Well, we did do a video called "F That Mouse," so
Yeah.
they probably been keeping a close eye on us since
That
then.
was your red flag. Surveillance sense.
Oh man. So who else do we think of that? Do we actually think that we may get a first glimpse of Namor? Because I
Maybe.
remember one
It's
time
been
we were talking. You had mentioned it was when No Way Home came out, and you had noticed something with the water,
Yeah,
and you had mentioned something about Namor.
yeah. When he was walking up the staircase, the water was kind of moving in a weird like way behind him. I mean, that could just be some Doctor Strange stuff, like.
Yeah.
But also Gargantos, that tentacle creature or whatever that he was fighting when he like split the bus in
He
half
throws
in
the
the
bus at
trailer.
Strange, yeah.
That's a Namor villain.
Yep.
Like, and now that we're getting hints of the Illuminati, and Namor's a
Namor
very
was one,
prominent
yep.
member on.
Well, technically, see, this is the confusing thing because technically in the comics that is Shura Gorath.
Shumagorath.
Yes, but because of some type of some copyright issues, they can't use names, so they have to go with Gargantos. Gargantos was a villain of Namor's, but
Shumagorath.
was a primary villain for Doctor Strange. So I think that they're keeping the character themselves, like the character intact. They're just changing the name a bit. But if they decide to be like, hey, they're both one and the same in this universe, then that would be a very good way for them to introduce Namor.
Yeah.
But again, I still think that they had speculations of Namor being introduced in
Black Panther 2.
Wakanda Forever. But this will be a cool little tease to have him in there, because if it just pops up for the Illuminati and doesn't do anything, then it's like, oh well, he's here. Namor is here, and he's existed forever inside the MCU, like all MCU characters have.
Just coming out of hiding later when they're not needed.
It
Yeah.
could even be like how you were talking about with Mr. Fantastic, the old actor who played him. Should be the Illuminati version, but then John Krasinski is ours.
Yeah.
It could be one of those situations where it's like an alternate Namor, and then we get our own later as well. That could
think-
maybe happen.
Going forward, making our old legacy characters part of the multiverse Illuminati would probably be the best bet to go.
Very much so. So that way they can just do their one and done, and you don't
Right.
have to worry about doing 10 more movies and 17 more appearances.
And say if they perish, or if nothing else happens of them, then maybe Strange at the end of this movie is like, all right, I'm gonna rebuild this kind of myself, and hopefully we're probably gonna get Midnight Suns here instead of the Avengers. We're probably gonna get the Thunderbolts. Strange, all these new characters.
Obviously, Fantastic Four. We're getting.
Yeah.
I think we get that.
I think the MCU will make their own Illuminati at some point.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that could happen.
I mean, who knows? Either way, I'm really excited for Doctor Strange. That comes out in what, May?
I believe so. Yeah, May.
Because they have pushed it back 2 or 3 times. What is this giant smirk that Jake has on his face? Would you like to share with the rest of the class?
He wants to shut everything down. Pack up. I'm going home. No, he's serious.
Don't worry about it.
Fair enough. What other things can we potentially expect to see? And based on these most recent trailers, what are some things that we can also kind of expect or anticipate to see in the Doctor Strange? Deadpool?
Doctor Strange.
No.
No way.
I don't think so. Okay, see, look. We're not giving any more ideas for free, okay?
Deadpool was actually talked about, though. That was a very highly speculated
That was.
as well.
And he was a smartass when he was asked that question. Are you going to be in the new Doctor Strange movie? And he's like, he said something quirky, and then he's like, well, I'm not really supposed to, looking around, say anything. But no, I can guarantee you I'm most likely not going to be maybe in the film.
So he beats
out.
And you know how like Marvel always somebody sneaks a photo of like pre-visual effects and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a shot in the trailer where it's the variant of Christine, who's working at the Illuminati headquarters, and you have America Chavez contained in the back in this big square see-through bubble or box. And somebody released this picture of Deadpool in one of those. Because, he's technically break the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Isn't he a multiversal...
A Nexus being?
Nexus being?
Yeah.
I think he would have to be. Like, I don't know if that... I don't know if he actually is, but I don't see... No, he's not. He's not.
Yes,
because
he
there's...
is.
No, he's not. Because
He's aware of other presences.
But it's not a Nexus being
There's
because
other
of Lady
Deadpools.
Deadpool. There's
No,
Kid
true that,
Deadpool.
true that. There are
Deadpool.
variants.
Yeah. So
Like-
there are other variants of Deadpool. So he's not a Nexus
That's true.
being.
He's not Nexus, but he is aware and conscious of other realities.
Yes.
Maybe Charles Xavier was fed up with this bullshit and put him in a box. Who knows?
Well, there's also images on the poster. I think it's in the poster or even in the trailer of the What If, the animation for the What If. Like, it's in one of those broken shards. I can't remember if it's in the poster or in one of the trailers.
Well,
I think it was
on the
the
poster there was Captain England. What's her name? Captain Carter, I guess.
Yeah, Captain Carter.
Her shield at the bottom right hand corner, and it was very small, but it's definitely her shield.
I feel like she'll be a part of the Illuminati.
Yeah, that's what I heard speculations too, that she may be part of the Illuminati, which would make sense because a lot of those characters we haven't seen, like Namor or Superior Iron Man. So it would make sense to slide her into that role because she was in What If, and she was one of those big characters, and also Gargantos was technically a part of it too. I think the very first episode where the tentacles came through the portal.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange absorbed him, right?
Yeah, in What If. So there could be things. There could be things.
There are things hinting in all kinds of directions. But I think, that, like you said, that's why they do that. They give us all this stuff to speculate on. And then we all sit here and talk ourselves in circles, and then we're completely surprised when we see the film.
And it creates headlines, and people click on it and share it in social media, and then they don't need to run commercials until a month out before the movie comes out, because they already know people are coming. They just... need a date.
People are coming because the name Doctor Strange and Marvel is attached to it.
Yeah.
You could literally type in what's a very lesser character. What's the character, the little girl and the dinosaur? Moon Girl.
There you go.
There you go. So Marvel and Moon Girl, and people are gonna see it because it's got the Marvel headline on it.
We should get a Squirrel Girl.
I'm not gonna lie. I would
don't we
love
get
to
a
see.
Squirrel
They
Girl?
shot a pilot for it on
Did they?
like Hulu. Yeah.
But it wasn't it animated though?
No, it was live action.
Oh really?
Yeah, and they didn't release it.
Because what's her name?
The girl from the commercials.
The AT&T commercials.
Yeah,
I can't remember her name.
Lily.
The one that
The
plays
one that
Lily?
plays Lily. She was
She's Squirrel Girl?
Yeah, she was supposed to be Squirrel
Oh,
Girl.
man, now I really want to see it.
Wow.
But I think she was just a voice. I think it was actually just a voice for her. I don't remember. I have to look more into that. But if we did have a Squirrel Girl, because we have had some animated Squirrel Girl, but having a live action would be cool.
Disney, you're still listening.
Yeah.
We're talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
And they're sitting here thinking, we've already thought about it.
Find you sitting on this
Right?
big ass throne in front of a wall of monitors, like the Koal from Doctor
I'll get you next
Inspector
time.
Gadget.
And he's petting Grogu.
Release the Squirrel Girl pilot. Sir, it's not finished. Do it.
I think Disney legit has a Scrooge McDuck vault behind somewhere, and it's just filled with gold, and they dip into that to make these movies. They need to go dip into that, do a little dive like Scrooge used to do, and take some of that and make this stuff happen.
Big Squirrel. Give it to us. We'll make Squirrel Girl happen.
We'll make it.
Yeah, we can do it.
I would love to work with Lily.
How would we do it? Would we tie like a fish string to the tail, like hang out a frame, like see a little hand with a fish string tied like at the boom mic? dip it
Bro.
in?
If we
It's
had that
Disney budget. It's
Yeah.
all CG.
Yeah, everything's
CG
CG.
tail.
It's a fake tail. You know it's not real. I know. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. We want to believe.
Damn, I want to pet that thing.
So, anyways.
Yeah, that got weird.
It got very weird.
Very weird.
But I do feel like the Doctor Strange, there could be a lot coming from it. What do you think about the zombies? Cause
Oh, yeah, I want to see what's going on with that, because we already got hints of 2 of them.
yes, because they did mention that earlier this year that live action Marvel Zombies is a thing. Now, do you think that this was the thing that they were talking about, or do you think it's going to get its own little series?
No, I think this will be it.
Yeah,
This will be what they were
Yeah.
talking about.
I feel like that would be too, because I don't know how much I'd be able to take a full couple series or a full movie of Marvel Zombies.
Right.
It would be weird. It would be very weird, and I don't know how I'd be able to handle that.
It wouldn't work.
Yeah, I mean it worked for the What If because you could
Yeah,
because it was one episode
I mean, they were pretty dark for an animated show.
that's true.
because
That
they
is
can
true.
stretch the limits a little bit and
And
get
we
away
got
with
Sam
it.
Raimi doing something. You know,
Yeah.
like,
And
I'm
then
excited.
I heard that Moon Knight is they're not. I heard they're not holding back on Moon Knight.
Really.
That's just what I heard.
Their darkest show yet.
Yeah, I heard it's the darkest one yet.
Okay.
Because Hawkeye had some dark moments.
It did have some.
It had some moments that had me thinking like, this is Disney? This is on Disney Plus? Blood all over the windows? What? So maybe with Moon Knight and that character being a little bit unhinged, they might, loosen the reins a little bit. I still feel like that it should have been like rated R and just
Yeah, and just
put
go
on
with it.
Hulu
Leave
or
it,
stuff.
do it.
Look how well it worked for Deadpool. Throw it in, guys. Come
Yeah.
on, give us some rated R's. There's
Disney.
a lot of us adult lovers out here. Let's do it.
There's another one, Disney.
I mean, adults, parents are adults with kids, right?
Yeah.
There's a thought. People bring their kids to the movies anyways.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Mhm.
there's already adults showing up.
Yes.
We grew up watching violent stuff. What did our parents do?
Yeah.
In front of the eyes.
I
Yeah.
didn't.
Mom, stop.
I don't.
My parents did that to me.
My parents did that.
I've pretty much watched everything and anything.
My mom was like that. She
You
put my
look
hand, her hand in
legitimately
front of my eyes.
traumatized.
My
I've
dad would be
never
like,
sheltered her.
soak it in, son.
I watched somebody get
Enjoy.
You know how many TV boobs I've seen before I turned 9?
Maybe you need counseling, bro.
Just so people know, I wasn't purposely like sitting you down showing you this stuff.
No,
I just allowed you to watch whatever you wanted to see. I
Check
didn't
this
care.
out.
it's all just entertainment. It's
Yeah.
just TV and movies.
Sirius asked, can't imagine, or he says, can't imagine what Disney would do with Deadpool.
Oh
I
my god.
I actually think I know what they can't, what they would do. Deadpool has already been confirmed rated R. Like the next Deadpool 3 is rated R. It has been confirmed it is rated R. He is his own thing because technically they still own Fox is still a thing. It's 20th Century Studios now, but it's still a thing. So it could still they make rated R movies. So Deadpool could still be doing Deadpool things in its own movies, its own shows. But when he's paired up with Spider-Man, paired up with the Avengers, he can be watered down. I'd be fine with that because he's working with somebody else.
Yeah,
I can
it's not
understand.
his movie anyway. He don't need
Yeah.
to shine like that.
He don't need to shine like that. But if after Deadpool 3 and we do get more Deadpool movies, solo movies. If those become PG-13 where he's watered down, then I'd be upset because you already gave us a trilogy of the best version of Deadpool we will ever see. Mm-hmm. Why water him down then? Again, Deadpool and Captain America, water him the fuck down. I don't care.
It's not gonna work.
He'd probably get like the one F word that they're allowed to use too.
Yeah,
like,
he probably would.
PG-13.
And they'd probably mention, and he'd probably even say something about it. He's like, well, that's one. I gotta wait another hour before I can say another one. Like, even time it. Because I can see them. I can see that. I can see that.
Him getting all mad because, they might not be able to use so much blood. Only one F-bomb, PG-13. He's like, oh, you're so lucky Disney has made better bombs.
I can see it. I can totally see it. Let's see, we got Logical Robot. It says Marvel has mastered the art of feeding us pre-speculation, sadly not the art of final execution. Luke Evans is My Name More, and give us a true X-Force movie.
I'm with that all day.
Yeah.
I love X-Force.
Yes. We had a little hint in Deadpool 2, but that was sad. That was sad.
Yeah, that was more of a parody than anything.
It was. But I could definitely go with the full hard R X-Force movie. That would be what's that look for, Luke? Why did I call you Luke? Luke Evans.
No. Just this the first sentence that he said there. I agree with that. Good eye, strong backswing, weak follow through. Ever since the end of Endgame.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
But
at that time you already kind of expected, but you still kind of love it at the same time. I mean, it's just one of those things that you accept. I don't expect Marvel movies to have this such in-depth story that you have to feel for every character, and everything is a certain way, like you would watching like Wolf of Wall Street or something like that with some depth. The comic book movies, they're meant to be, full of jokes.
They did this battle, then they joked a little, and then they did this battle.
Yeah, I don't go into it expect to be moved.
Yeah.
So I feel like Marvel movies do just enough. At least for me personally, obviously they don't fulfill everybody, and then that's just being human. Mm-hmm.
Do you not remember the person sitting behind us when we watched Endgame? There was a grown man bawling his eyes out.
Really?
When Tony.
Because I didn't see Endgame with you guys. I saw it with my brother.
Okay. I thought you were with us because we did the whole entire
I was with
thing.
you.
Yeah, because Cody was there too.
Yeah, I was
Never
there.
mind. I put you in there in my head.
Hey, buddy, I'm right here.
That's how
I'm the
my
guy.
brain works. But yeah, no, seriously, like behind Terrence Huff, Terrence Huff and I were sitting next to each other. Like the person behind us, like he was enthralled. Like how that guy watched that movie is like, I am envious. Every twist and turn, there was like a.
So basically, how like the theater from No Way Home.
Yeah, he started the trend. That guy that's right behind us in row 3. Like, but yeah, he was crying, man. He was grown ass man, like 35, 36, like just super upset about Tony dying.
Well,
so
number one, so was I. That was me too. I cried. I still cry.
Cody's back there like, I'm 26, I cried.
I got a little teary-eyed.
All right.
And he's still crying.
Sirius says he teared up when he saw Endgame. So maybe it's just you because you have a hardened black heart that has no room for love or joy.
I didn't cry, but that was only because I'm always crying on the inside anyway. So I just continued to do that.
Which is why Tony Stark wasn't in pain when he died, because they said that he was already in pain and he was living in pain since Avengers. So
you know what? That's a valid comment about my black heart, because watching Peacemaker during that scene when Hardcore's laying on the ground, because we're going to talk about this later. And the butterflies
spoilers though.
overhead.
Spoilers.
Wait. Yeah,
we'll get the
Peacemaker later.
Okay.
We'll get the Peacemaker later.
But that, it's like, oh, that's really sad. I like that. You know what? Fuck it. I don't care anymore. I hope she dies.
Logical Robot respond
it
with,
would be gone without it.
Marvel movies are now coasting on success rather than earning it. Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Black Widow, Eternals. Marvel can and should be doing better. Endgame was literal peak, and they cannot conquer. I disagree. I disagree with one part of that. Endgame wasn't the peak. Infinity War was.
Yeah, Infinity War definitely was.
Endgame was only that good because of Infinity War.
It set it up.
Yeah. Infinity War was the peak. It is the pinnacle. That's in my opinion.
But to me, they're one and the same. That was just one long movie broken into two, to me.
A lot of people think of it that way. Go ahead.
When you think about it as a series, though, and I'm going to defend Marvel here, that was a culmination of a bunch of movies going to one point.
Yeah.
So these one-offs, you can't hold to that same epic standard. It's just not. That's just not realistic expectation.
Yeah.
Like, even when you go to the original Marvel set that led up to that, and you watch them as individual movies, I mean, they're okay, but them being interconnected is what. And interwoven is.
I mean, I can totally get that, but I also have to agree that some of these movies, like the Marvel, is getting their success based on the name itself, as opposed to like we talked about earlier, as opposed to like earning it. They're just coasting. Hey, Marvel name, we got it. Like, but I feel like DC will get to that point as well. It's just
they're already there with me.
They're there with some people because there's diehard DC fans, just like there's diehard Marvel fans. But Marvel's been doing it 10 years prior to DC doing it. And DC tried to catch up, which is where I felt like they fucked up, because they tried to catch up as opposed to doing their own thing. But now that they're doing their own thing,
it's amazing.
They'll be great, like with the Batman coming out, which is going to be fantastic.
Can't wait
their DC shows are really good too.
Peacemaker's the best show on
Peacemaker
television.
is amazing.
And I guess the other half of the coasting is that they're putting out content. It feels like every month and a half.
Yeah.
If you factor in Hulu too, like there's a shit ton of Marvel stuff I had never even known existed.
Like
sitting on Hulu.
Yeah. Hit Monkey is great. If you haven't finished Hit Monkey, you have to watch it. Who's the big next? Sirius wants to know who's the big next bad in MCU. Logic says he's waiting on Mr. Sinister. I think that would be a cool one, but I think he's more of an X-Men thing. I think Kang is the next big bad, even though he's slated to be a villain in Ant-Man. A variant. But still, the next big bad would probably...
I'm thinking MODOK.
So? I hope not.
I hope not, too.
I heard some theories.
Because we'd have to have AIM, and then we have to deal with more than Inhumans.
Plus, they got that MODOK cartoon as well with Patton Oswalt doing the voice.
Yeah, that's definitely not canon.
I know it's not canon, but it wouldn't make sense to drop that and then say this is not that character, but it's that character. It would just.
Well, it would probably actually be a good thing for them because people are now familiar with MODOK, but you know that's a different type of MODOK than the one that you would actually get.
Maybe I'm biased. I hate MODOK.
I feel like
Omega Red would probably be a good one too.
Another X-Men one, but still a great villain.
I was gonna say back to the MODOK thing with it being in the IDOS game that being. I heard a rumor when that game was the story for that game was gonna be actually in an Avengers movie. It's like a cinematic movie, and they tossed it out. I think for Age of Ultron. So I mean, like it's kind of already.
Yeah, it's kind of already been done in a way. Yeah. Because it's AIM. It's pretty much Ultron doing its thing. But honestly, who I would like to see if it was up to me, and since we have Fantastic Four coming up soon, I think the next big bad should be Doctor Doom. Yeah. Doctor Doom.
I disagree.
Because we've had Doctor Doom. The last Doctor Doom and the reboot Fantastic Four, I feel was like out of all the ones we've seen, it's probably like the best version of Doctor Doom.
He was good.
But I still want a true sinister Doctor Doom. I think that would be epic. Again, especially with Fantastic Four. But Avengers is pretty much done, so it'd be like a Fantastic Four villain.
Right. Well, see, for
why
me,
do you agree?
I personally, I agree with the fact that I would love to see another version of Doom.
Yeah.
Great villain, awesome character, let's do it. But not before some of the other ones we haven't seen yet, like Mephisto.
Yeah.
Why have we still not gotten Mephisto? He has been clamored for since the beginning of the MCU, and no one has. They've given us nothing.
He's actually been clamored for since the beginning of WandaVision.
Probably, but yeah.
Mephisto would be a good one. Yeah.
You know?
Well, he's an Infinity Gauntlet too, so it's kind of weird that Mephisto didn't make an appearance in.
Yeah.
The original
that's
22.
true.
Yeah. This is true.
Wasn't Mephisto also the one who wiped everyone's memory for Peter Parker?
In the comics,
yes.
In the comic book variant, yes, he was the one that did it because he had portrayed as Doctor Strange, and made everyone forget he was Spider-Man.
But he took his marriage for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Doom would be perfect too. Says logical. Sirius says, I think Kang will be Loki. And Logic says, anything to get to wash the taste out of fan force stick with our mouths. And Doctor Doom is leading into 2015 Secret Wars, which is a thing. The Secret Wars is coming, and I'm really excited about that. But it's different. That's weird how that's a show, as opposed to...
Secret Invasion is the show.
Oh, that's Secret Invasion.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
that's right. That's
Secret
right.
Wars will be the movie.
Yeah, that's what
okay. Yeah, okay.
I want to see Doom and Galactus in the same movie.
That would be
Then
cool.
we're going to need some serious hero power to take out that dynamic duo.
We'll need some serious silver powers for that one.
Yeah.
Craven Hunter could be extremely interesting. Well, we
I've
already
always
got...
wanted to see a Craven.
You have to mention you want to see that, but they are doing that with Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he's playing.
Kick-Ass.
Yeah, he's playing Kang, not Kang. Craven.
Craven.
But speaking of Spider-Man, there is also a. I don't know how true it is, but it popped up on Instagram, and it got my Woody nice and never mind.
There's a snake in your boot.
Yeah, it's that. But the live action Spider-Man 2099 development.
Yes.
I'm hoping that's not just like a little tidbit rumor that's just popped up on Instagram. I hope that's a real thing. Because
It would make sense because they're doing the Madam Web movie.
Yeah, that's true because she was casted. I forgot about that. So we've got some cool stuff coming in Spider-Verse.
If we get 2099, which it's confirmed, I guess we are, that opens up doors for all the other Spider-Men like Miles, and Ben Reilly, and all of them like
Mayday Parker.
Yes, all of them.
Now, see, I think the thing that would make most sense would be to keep like the Tom Holland one in the MCU, and Andrew wants to be Spider-Man. Bring him back. Let him take care of the Sonyverse.
Yeah.
With the Cravens and the Madam Webs and the 2099s, all the other ones, and keep Tom Holland over there in the MCU and have him slowly bring in Miles, because Miles would fit with the Young Avengers anyway, with the Kate Bishops and stuff that. So I think that would be that's pretty cool. And then maybe we could get a Black Cat out of one of those. Oh God, that was, we've never gotten that either. Black, Silver and Black was rumored so long ago, but that's been canceled and then back in development and then canceled again. I don't know. I'd like to see that all up in the air. But speaking of all these universes, just an odd question. Something I was thinking about. Out of every universe, like Harry Potter, MCU, Marvel, two different ones, DC, Star Wars, out of all these universes, Lord of the Rings, what would be the best or the worst one to live in? Which one would be like the best one? Because the reason I asked this is because a lot of people would think, oh, like Harry Potter would be so cool to be in because it would be wizards and witches, but you also got to realize that you also get everything that comes with it, like the Voldemorts, the Death Eaters, and the Slytherins and all that. Fireball. Well, it depends on your position. Okay. Depending on who you are. Because, like, I would say Star Wars, personally, I would love to see someone use the Force with my own two eyes or be one to use it. Yeah. See a lightsaber in action in real life, travel from planet to planet, galaxy to galaxy. It'd be amazing. I would choose that universe, but not if I'm just some, slave to Jabba the Hutt the whole time. I don't want, but if I'm a Jedi, yes, I would love to live in that universe or, whatever.
Cannot get the image of Slave Josh.
I'm going to draw it and I'm going to put it online. It's going to happen. I might even buy the cosplay.
See, now that you have said that online, people are going to want to see it, so now you have to make it happen. And I'll put it on our Instagram.
I'll get a Slave Leia costume and cosplay it. I'll do it.
I need a bottle of Listerine to dump into my ear hole and cleanse my mind.
Now I want that image, Fireball. You got to draw it. You have to draw it.
But no, back to the original question. Yeah. I would choose Star Wars, me personally, but that does depend on my situation.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's also the stipulation. It's random. There's no telling like what position you're going to be in.
See, then that's rough. Because like if you choose the Harry Potter world, it would be great to be in the Harry Potter world if you're in one of the houses and you're a young magician learning or wizard or whatever growing up. But if you're just some muggle that doesn't even know Hogwarts exists, welcome to what we already have. You know what I mean? So that sucks.
But that's also life. In life you get certain you're born into certain positions that get you to some places in life, and some people who aren't born with that type of luck end up nowhere. So either way, it's still a luck of the draw. It's not like, ooh, if I could be a Jedi, I'm going to go add to Star Wars. But
Right.
if I could be an archaeologist, I'm going to live in a Jurassic Park world. No, that's not how that motherfucking works.
That's fair. I'm still gonna go with Star Wars just because I think it's fascinating.
And also, game worlds count too.
That's fine.
If you want to
What
throw
about anime?
any universe. So since you brought up anime, I'd like to know. I'm pretty sure I know where you'd go if you had an opportunity.
I would go to the wonderful world of My Hero Academia.
I had a feeling.
Because 80 or 90% of the Earth's population have quirks.
Mhm.
Like,
Everybody's a hero.
I would most likely have superpowers there.
Okay.
And I could use them for whatever I want. Like, if I want to live a normal life, I could be like Izuku Midoriya's mom and just use her little levitating powers in around the house.
Now,
Like,
see, what if you got some really stupid quirk that you have, like
There are some stupid ones in there.
that you're able to grow nose hair faster than anybody else.
I would train it. I would just keep pulling it all out, and then that way I'd get really good at growing nose hair, and that would be my superpower.
What if
I'd like.
What if it
whip
was you're like
people
you,
with it?
you could only grow it like an eighth of a second faster than normal?
Okay, I would work with what I get.
So you said it's luck of the draw.
Luck
It
of the
is.
draw, but
It is.
I mean, I could get a super cool power like being able to make explosions out of my weird sweat. Like,
Your weird sweat.
yeah.
Any sweat that's not
yeah,
weird
but your
is weird.
skin physically explodes, and you're left with skin and bone in intense searing pain.
Nah, Bakugo, man.
He sweats nitroglycerin.
Yeah, he sweats nitroglycerin, and then
Have
it's
you ever
anime,
played-
okay?
Have you ever played Crash Bandicoot? You can't touch the nitro boxes.
Yeah, but
if
also
I'm
you can't really
existing
question
in this
anime.
You
world,
can't.
like, I follow the same rules that anime does. Like, if I
True.
don't want my hand to explode, it's not gonna explode. It's anime.
See, that's the way around everything.
Quote it.
Yeah.
Yep.
What about you, Jake? What universe would you like to live in?
And that's any universe, video game,
universe.
movies,
Yeah.
comics, whatever.
Yeah, I've been trying to weigh the pro and cons out on that because it's like there's a lot of cool stuff,
Yeah.
but there's also a lot of negative.
That's literally for everything though.
Yeah,
There's no 100% positive for any of them.
the universe of Last Action Hero.
Whoa,
That's
Last
clever.
Action Hero.
That's clever.
Yeah.
Am I
That-
too young?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
too
you're
young.
probably
Oh.
too young.
You
Arnold
might be
Schwarzenegger.
me.
Arnold.
Oh, no, you're
Actually,
not? Okay.
to be completely honest, you might really you as a father now have a very good deep responsibility to make sure that this young man watches Last Action Hero. As a matter of fact, I will let you borrow it. I have it. I
Getting the
will
homework.
I will give it to you to watch tonight. Actually, no, we can't watch it tonight because we're gonna go see Uncharted tonight. Yes. Which actually brings me up another point later on. But Jake said you Last Action Hero. Why Last Action Hero?
Yeah, we gotta. have
Is it
reason.
because you're a filmmaker?
I think being able to go inside a movie screen is really cool and getting to do movie stuff without consequence.
You know,
You know,
there were animated characters in there, so that does make.
if not that, then Free Guy. Free
There
Guy,
you go.
know.
Similar.
Oh
premise.
yeah,
Yeah.
Free Guy would be cool.
Ready Player
Ooh,
I
One.
still
Ready
haven't
Player
seen.
One,
Ready
yeah.
Player One. Yes. I actually know it wouldn't. It's only cool in the VR world. You come out of VR and their world sucks.
No, that was actually Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, which is probably
No,
where
Ohio sucks anyway. So.
It's on track.
Nothing's
It's
changed.
tracking. I go there every other weekend.
Before
Have
I
they
get to
started stacking buildings yet?
Trailers.
Logic says Constantine or the Matrix universes
Ooh.
both always seemed as depressing as they do Fantastical or Spawn.
Matrix is a good thought. I like that.
Matrix would be terrifying.
That
Though. I feel like that'd be terrifying.
Not if you could figure it out like Keanu did.
Yeah, but Keanu was literally the one.
Yeah, but he wasn't the first.
So he was the two, okay?
He was actually the 7, I think.
Oh,
They said there were others before him.
fair enough. Before I give my answer, I would like to know what our guest Cody's universe. What universe would you go to, even though it might suck and might kill you?
I was gonna say Super Mario Bros.
Oh,
Being a Super
Way to
Mario,
race my
cool.
ass up that freaking castle and get Miss Peach and
Get
Well,
hit by a
but-
dragon turtle
Again,
immediately.
yeah, but then again, you might end up being a Goomba.
Yeah.
yeah.
It could be a Goomba.
There's no telling which one you would be.
No, that was a joke.
Or you could be one of those dudes on the clouds holding the traffic light.
That would be your day job.
Yep.
You get paid one gold coin a day.
That might not be a bad thing though, because like a few years ago they did a study on Gen Z kids playing old school Nintendo games.
Yeah.
In Super Mario 1, 80% of like, well, it was 80 people because they did like 100 or something like that. Ended up being a pretty easy correlation.
Yeah.
They couldn't clear the first screen in Mario.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa.
Jeez.
I don't know if I feel old or I feel special.
Wow.
Both.
Yeah. We're old and special.
Because of how Mario, Mario 1 is like, you know, that's World 1. That's World 1-1.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they couldn't get past World 1-1. It was too hard.
That's crazy.
That's too hard, but they could probably get through Cyberpunk in a week.
Yeah.
Or Dark Souls.
Or Dark Souls in like 2 hours.
Bloodborne.
There's already speedruns on Sifu on the internet.
Yeah, but see, Sifu, I've beaten it 4 times since I bought it.
Right.
It's like your first playthrough is probably like 6 or 7 hours, maybe 5 if you start off with good. Because once you beat a level, like once you beat so many levels, you have shortcuts to get through. So it's beating something Sifu is not really anything to, you know, chant about. But mine, I actually have 2 because one of them is interesting and the other one gives everybody a chance to be somebody. First one would be possibly South Park. I'd like to live in that town because everything happens in that town. It doesn't matter who you are. Something's going to happen in that town. And if you're a part of the South Park town, you're going to see some shit.
Gonna have yourself a time.
Yeah. And obviously you can notice that the 4 little children are always the center of it. So if I wanted to go on an adventure, I just follow them for a day.
Follow some kids around.
But
Nope, not like that. Stop.
But
They're not going to hang out with you.
we're talking universes here. You're gonna live in the South Park universe.
Yeah.
South Park is just in Colorado.
That's true.
You could be a random dude all the way in Ohio. You could be you.
You could be Canadian with a flappy head.
We could be in the South Park universe right now.
Hey, buddy. It's okay, guy. But my other one, Pokemon.
Oh, that's
Because everybody could be a Pokemon master.
Yeah,
Pokemon are
Or you
scary.
could be a Pokemon.
Or I could be a Pokemon. Yeah, fine. I don't want to be a Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Yeah, a Pokemon.
A Pokemans.
Yeah.
When they add S's to it, that irritates me when you add an S to things.
Pokemon.
Hey, man. That's Terrence Howard in Pokemon. I'm going to give me a Pokemon. Pokemon.
So Pokemon, huh?
Yes.
That's dope. I can get down with that.
So, but we mentioned Uncharted, how we're going to go see Uncharted. Now, I've already heard speculations that Uncharted was just a meh video game movie, which disappoints me because the last couple of video game movies that I've seen were like really good and it gave me hope. But to hear that it's just meh, but then again, reviews are always just...
They suck.
They always suck anyway. But it still brings up a question. Everyone skipping on the Transformers universe says logic. And yes, I'm skipping on that universe.
I don't want to live in a universe where giant robots walk around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not even if there's Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. I'm cool. I'll watch it on TV.
Imagine you're living in New York City. You're sitting at your desk, and then all of a sudden you're just blinked out of an existence because a giant robot arm just happens to swing through.
Well, technically, no matter what universe you're in, New York is fucked.
Yeah.
Even in this universe, New York is fucked.
Even in the lead in like Avengers movie, I always thought it'd be really funny for somebody to go back and remake that scene of people working in the office building where like those giant worms go crashing through shit. Basically in what they did with Hawkeye, only more DC and dark, like Peacemaker.
That'd actually be a funny little skit to make. Just like show like all like random civilians during these horrible times. Like Godzilla versus King Kong, you're just like looking out your window like, dude, this is a horrible time to go to Tokyo or wherever it happened.
Why did I come here?
But back to the question. I'm wondering, maybe we can someone has his opinions on this, but what is it with video game movies that always just never pan out?
People are too picky.
Mm-hmm. That's one
Way
thing
too
for
picky.
sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it more of a studio thing? I feel like it's more of a studio thing than it is the fan base.
I mean, it's about making the biggest budget, film you can possibly make. The spectacle is everything.
Yeah.
For Uncharted, I was reading, not a lot of like character development, but more action and puzzle solving than anything. And I'm like, that's what the video game's about.
Game is.
Yeah.
And see, that's what I feel like the issue is for most other movies. Like even I heard Resident Evil was still just a meh. I still haven't seen it.
It was very meh.
But the thing is, a lot of these movies that fail, they go completely away from the story. They just make up their own characters and just say, hey, this is John Smith and he's fighting alongside a scorpion. And that's the Mortal Kombat movie. It's like, well, we don't know who John Smith is. Why you don't have to worry about John Smith because we know who Mortal Kombat characters are. And I feel like a lot of movies make movies with the characters' names as opposed to making
my thoughts exactly
the movie based on the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could be wrong. What are you guys' thoughts?
My thoughts are that exactly. I think that what they do is it's a bunch of filmmakers that think they can cash in on a property that's going to make them some money. So they take a story and try to make the story work, but take all the charm that makes the game charming and beat it the fuck out of it, and then write their own movie, and it just doesn't have the same charm.
Yeah.
They beat it out.
And I feel like they always at least get semi-successful for the same reason Marvel movies are. Millions of people play Uncharted. Millions of people know Tom Holland. Hey, we're making an Uncharted movie with Tom Holland.
Money.
Sold.
Ching, 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 ching.
We're making a Mario movie with Chris Pratt.
That was my problem with the Expendables. That same principle. They put so much into giving everybody every big name they ever wanted that they ended up with a movie that didn't have a plausible story and it sucked.
Well, see, that's okay.
But they still made a fortune.
Hold on, before we get on to everybody else's opinions on that, I have to defend Expendables because what they did was got all the 90s action stars. Mm-hmm. All the 90s action stars that we knew growing up. And what did those guys do in all those movies? A bunch of action that had nothing, that didn't really have that much of a great story. So what did they do?
All of them individually had good stories.
They all had run-of-the-mill stories. They were all very bleh, and what was the main point? People get shot, people getting thrown up, people getting killed. So what did they do with the Expendables? Put all the 90s action stars into one movie where people were getting shot, getting beat up, people getting killed. But I don't want to go off tangent and try.
Man, just go for Josh's throat.
that was the point I was trying to make. That's what they did.
Yeah.
They just gave us these 90s heroes and what they did, and that was it. And it sold like a motherfucker because that's what they market.
Well, I realized but the reason that one sold was because that's what you expect from a movie with those type of characters, as opposed to a video game movie where you go in expecting to see the stuff that you see in the video game, and not getting any of that.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They give us the big name actors and make it look all crazy, and we're like, oh, I want to see it, and then we get in there and get disappointed because that's literally all they gave us.
So I've heard a few things, I've read a few things. I haven't watched any YouTube reviews of Uncharted, but what a lot of the reviewers are doing is they're not able to separate the two mediums, right? So, like, Uncharted is a third-person action-adventure game, where the camera is locked in, over-the-shoulder camera, typical third person. So, yeah, like Cody had mentioned, like, there's a lot of user interface with it, and the other half with it, too, and it's kind of interesting, and it goes into a little bit into the history of when Uncharted came out. Naughty Dog said they wanted Nathan to be an everyman in a bad situation. But when you're playing the game, you're running around, dip, duck, diving, and shooting people, fighting, Nazi zombies in one movie, the fucking purple people from, like, the Jack and Dexter games that they repurposed in Uncharted 2, and I can't remember who the villain is in Uncharted 3.
Damn, I just recently played that not too long ago. I can't even remember.
The blonde chick.
Yeah.
Marlo.
It's not as supernatural as the other two, I don't think. But he's doing all this crazy stuff. So like one of the scenes comes from Uncharted 3 with the whole plane scene when you're jumping through the cargo stuff, and it's like, well, how is Tom Holland doing that? Well, that's the game.
Yeah.
So I've heard a lot of positive things. There's a lot of direct rips and scenes that they took from the movie, and they're in there. Mm-hmm. So it's just people being way too picky, and they just need to just back off. I understand the old school Resident Evil movies, the multipass, like that
Yeah.
was a left fucking field.
Well, first of all, multipass was Fifth Element. Get your movies right.
Mila Jovovich. Every time I saw her in Resident Evil, I would go, multipass.
Logical Robert says studios don't understand the true underlying appeal. They just movie the idea rather than properly adapt to the heart of experience.
Thank you.
That
That's
is 100%.
exactly what I was saying, but worded
yes.
way better.
Uncharted is a prime example when he said Tom Holland oversaturation is real. I feel like that's with every actor. Like once they get into something that's like super big and super popular, they become a name.
Yeah, and then they
So
gotta keep it
that
going.
just
And
happens.
Sony has a picture deal with Tom Holland and Marky Mark, so that's why we have that.
Yeah.
Well, Mark was supposed to be Nathan Drake originally, back in 2008 when they were going to originally make the movie, and
Which
he
I'm
aged out.
Glad that he didn't play Nathan Drake. I'm still upset that they didn't just bite the bullet and say Nathan Fillion. I don't care how old that motherfucker is. We don't need a trilogy of Uncharted movies. If we just had one movie with Nathan Fillion, I would be happy.
Even
Yeah,
his
he
short
has
was
the look.
amazing.
Yeah, his short was awesome.
That was fantastic.
Sorry, go ahead, Jake.
That fan film from
Yeah,
back
yeah.
like 3 years
yeah,
ago.
that's what we're talking about. Yeah.
I just don't understand how it's not capturing the experience of it when that 15-minute thing literally captured a
Yeah.
scene
Yes.
that would have
They
been
did it in
from.
15
Yes.
minutes.
So
yeah.
If you guys have not seen the Uncharted fan film, go online,
good.
look it up, go
Do
to
yourself
YouTube.
a
If you have
favor.
15 minutes, it is spot on. Nathan Drake, 100%. Go YouTube, search up Uncharted Nathan Fillion. You'll trust me. Just trust me. It'll
It's
probably
so
be
good.
better than this Uncharted movie.
Yeah.
Or the mocap actors literally look like the characters on the screen, so why aren't
Well, Nolan North
Yeah,
does not look. I don't think Nolan North really looks like Nathan Drake that much,
Not
like at all.
no?
And Nolan North is probably in his 50s.
So older Drake.
No. I'm talking like this 50s. This type of guy
Boba Fett
50s.
50s.
Boba Fett 50s. But yes, that's the point. Like,
Well, that's Godfather status. You're running.
no, I don't want to see a Godfather Nathan Drake. If you're gonna show me Uncharted, it better be Nathan Drake. Period. Like, I love Tom Holland. I think he's funny. I think he would be a good character if he's written correctly. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that they could probably do better.
You know. Oh no, I'm completely against
Yeah.
Marky Mark like that. When
Yeah.
I saw him in the trailer, I was like,
But we never got your opinion on why you think that happens with the movie, video games, and stuff, and junk and whatnot, and what have you.
Well, I mean, it's a different feel, you know, like you guys were saying. Like, when you're playing the game, it's like... I mean, you guys pretty much explained it exactly how I would. Like,
Yeah.
there's just a disconnect between platforms, as Jake was saying.
I still feel like, because like Tomb Raider, for example, Tomb Raider was damn near the exact same movie as it was the game, but I absolutely loved Tomb Raider.
That movie was awesome.
It was awesome.
And on the other end of the spectrum, you got Sonic the Hedgehog. That was fantastic.
That was
a great
beautiful.
video game adaptation. They kept the charm.
Yeah.
The charm was there.
So I think
I was gonna say I guess there's also an inconsistency with reviews in Tomb Raider. Because, just Tomb Raider in general, right?
Mhm.
There's a lot of crazy shit that happens in Tomb Raider. And if
Yeah.
you're not aware of the video game, you're just accepting it at face value of all these things that are going on. Why are we picking Tom Holland to get mad about, you know?
well, again, it's not the fact that I'm mad at Tom Holland.
Well, no. I'm
Yeah.
just the reviewer.
And also the newer Tomb Raiders are a lot more grounded than the original. The older
Oh,
ones,
yeah.
we could. Have you played the newer
I
trilogy?
played all three.
Yeah, the newer trilogy, there may be a little bit of supernatural here and there, but it's not like in your face like the originals were. Because
Right.
every other game was,
like
all the game was
you
supernatural.
shot velociraptors and
And
dinosaurs
mummies
in
and-
Tomb Raider 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember all that, and tigers. So,
Oh
but
my.
yeah, Silent Hill movie. I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Silent Hill was a good adaptation.
I've never seen
Those
it.
they're good. Pyramid Head's dope.
God, you'd have been
They
like
captured
six.
they had the charm.
No, that's why.
I'd have to see it.
I
Yeah.
was busy wetting the bed.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that in forever.
So we are getting close to the end of this. Before we head out, let's do one more little, not one more, but let's do a little quick discussion about DC's most recent show, which ended a couple of days ago,
We gotta
Peacemaker.
talk about that.
But if you haven't seen Peacemaker, this is your one and only warning. 3, 2, 1. You have been warned.
Spoilers ahead. Now
Spoilers
you've been warned.
Get
Get out if you don't
You can't do that. You've been warned until we tell them spoilers. That means they've been warned,
Y'all
right?
have been told.
There's spoilers coming up for Peacemaker, so if you're not caught up and you don't want it ruined, now's your chance.
Yes, that was your only chance. 3, 2, 1.
Now you
you
yeah, you have been warned.
Seriously, cannot sidestep and dance around this. It's direct spoilers.
yeah, spoilers.
So season finale of Peacemaker, boys.
Well, actually, let's get into the whole series because
Yeah.
at a certain point we stopped talking about it because we wanted to, instead of
finish
talking
it.
about it every episode, it's best to talk about it at the end. Overall, was it everybody's favorite show?
My favorite show. ever.
Yes.
Favorite show on
Definitely
television
the
right now.
best thing to come out of the DCEU.
Yeah.
Like, period.
What about you, Jacob? You loved it too, don't you? I can tell by the look on your face. I can tell by your look in your emotionless face.
Yeah. Michael Blackheart. John Cena has warmed Michael Blackheart. Yes.
He has. Oh my God, John Cena has warmed his heart.
No, well, I was thinking the DCEU, and then I thought about Harley Quinn, which I would argue is probably the best thing that's ever came out of the DCEU.
Which one? Like,
The
All
animated
of them.
series.
Oh, that.
Mm.
oh, that does that count? I mean,
I don't
that's,
know.
It's not. No, it's not.
I think
DCEU.
when I say DCEU, I mean like the
live
Justice
action, the
League,
Justice
and
League.
like
I
the
thought
that
meant
side.
like the streaming stuff that came out. Okay.
If we're counting that, yeah, Harley Quinn tops it.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure.
But Peacemaker, it starts off amazing.
Yeah.
And
Start to finish.
it's amazing the entire way through. But the biggest thing that got me the first episode was that intro. I was like, what the hell is this shit? Like, why am I watching this? I remember we skipped episode 2 because I was like, well, no, we're not gonna watch this. And then after that, we never skipped an episode again. I even fucking learned the dance. Yes, I did. Because it's addicting. I don't know. There's something about that intro I love.
You could be famous on TikTok now.
Well, I'm not gonna do it.
You should.
Yeah, I probably will. But the show itself, like, so much happened in that.
Yes.
And between all the emotional connections and John Cena actually acting, because I remember talking a lot of shit about John Cena being like, if he's in a comedy, he's good. He's fine. As long as he doesn't have to show emotion, he'll be all right. This motherfucker showed some emotion. This motherfucker had tears. Like this,
He was good.
He was good. John Cena was really good as Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite thing though to come of the Peacemaker show is how it tied into the rest of the universe in many ways.
Yeah.
Many.
Like, with the butterflies and stuff like that, and the fact that they took over a gorilla, that like sort of hints at Gorilla Grodd. Batmite was actually mentioned. Kite Man, even Green Arrow got a mention for this universe for the first time. And even the cameo of the Justice League members kind of brought it all back to that as well. Just Peacemaker did a whole lot of like pulling together. I feel like.
And we found out Superman has a poop fetish.
Superman does.
He's a
have poop
fecophiliac.
fetish. Is that what it would be called?
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think it's a fecophiliac.
I love that. I know that now.
And I love how it was actually Ezra Miller and
Jason Momoa.
He said the F word.
And Jason Momoa said the F word.
I smiled.
Fuck you, bitch. Yep, he fucks fish.
He was like, "Go fuck another fish, dude," or something. That was funny, man.
Fuck you, Barry.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, that was a great show.
It absolutely was great, and I think my favorite character out of that whole show, obviously, other than Peacemaker, because Peacemaker won my heart. Like he won my heart.
I went and bought the action figure just because of that show, not because of Suicide Squad.
Yeah. He was my least favorite character in Suicide Squad, but he was probably my favorite character in the show. But other than that, I have to say Vigilante.
That's my favorite. I want a Vigilante spinoff.
I
That
do
would be
too.
so
It's
sick.
great.
I love his suit. His suit is great. I love the fact that he's got no power. He's like Peacemaker, no powers, nothing special about him. He's just a dude in a suit who will kill you.
And he shows no emotion. He has zero human emotion.
He does. He's so disconnected from from society that is it's hilarious when he decides to kill somebody.
Warning, sarcasm,
Step aside,
vigilante sucks.
Yeah, vigilante sarcasm is horrible, but I think that's what I love. That's what I love about his character. He's just such an idiot, but he's dangerous. He is actually like the most dangerous one out of that group.
Because of his mentality, he's more dangerous.
Yes, there is
I don't know, man.
no, there's no more
family.
Dude.
No.
He had no problem with that family.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
whole family.
no
He
problem,
whistled while he did it.
and was counting them down. Like no moral compass
That was
whatsoever.
my favorite part, bro.
Which
What, when he
one?
flies to the
When
family
you-
like,
yeah,
that was
the reference.
after when he kills Red Dragon and he's trying to comfort him because he thinks he's BFFs with Peacemaker.
He labels people. You're like his fifth best friend in this order. Like he's great.
Only
Dude,
to find
are you
out
really
that
exercising your face muscles right now?
If I keep
it's like he doesn't get
changing
it.
my facial features, they won't be able to
Be out of the lineup.
And you know what's funny is I feel like if Ryan Reynolds you mentioned this, if Ryan Reynolds ever got too old to play Deadpool, which he probably never could because all he has to do is just put on a suit and
He could just stop putting on makeup.
This is true, but Vigilante, that actor could definitely pull him off.
I feel like he could do it.
He's good because he's definitely that actor. That's like he's like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
He's like at least every movie that I've seen him in, he's been in that character. He was in Harry Potter. He was that character, goofy, disassociated with everybody, awkward. He could do it. That would be great. So, how do we feel about that ending though? That ending on that show.
I liked it.
The whole controversy of him basically seeing what he wanted to do in the first place and seeing it through these creatures, and then having to try to find some way to connect with them, and then just capping them.
He did what he had to do for peace.
Yeah, but they were trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, by hostile takeover.
Yeah, this is, and I do
mean,
like
for them to take over all these people. That means these butterflies literally killed all these people that they took over. So they killed millions of people. It seemed.
Yeah,
he did what I would have done.
this is very true.
I think the show ended on a really low note. Like all the characters were sort of in negative spots at the end.
Yeah.
Judo Master, seeing everybody freaking dead and his goals are now not going to be accomplished. The Butterflies all dead. Freaking Peacemaker still haunted by his dad. Economos is just working at a prison now, and Adebayo had to go against her mother. And everybody, I mean, we don't even got to talk about Harcourt. She probably had it the worst.
Everybody got
Other than
injured
probably
pretty bad.
Vigilante, honestly, everyone sort of got the shit end of the stick.
Well, even Vigilante got the shit in the stick. He got shot.
Yeah, he got fucked up, but he lived and he gained friends from it. So he's the only one that actually.
He literally scampers out of the window.
That's awesome. So, I mean, once he jumped out of that window, we have no idea where he went, but he was obviously in good enough shape to jump out of a window after being shot, so he's really the only one who's kind of up right now.
Yeah.
Which leaves it open for season 2.
It's a James Gunn universe, so I mean, could literally be Peacemaker driving down the road, seeing his car ditched on the side of the road, and Vigilante's just fly down his car. Well,
there goes him.
Yeah.
Oh man, but overall, I think that show, even compared to the other MCU shows that came out, I probably have to say that is probably one of the best shows I've seen.
Definitely, me
Because
too.
it had the perfect, at least for me personally, it had the perfect mixture of comedy, story, and action. That makes my perfect TV show soup, whatever.
And they took that darker bit with how his dad, Red Dragon, raises Peacemaker and his brother, so I mean he was able to work into that darker DC stuff in there and everybody likes it. It's hard not to say Peacemaker isn't one of the better superhero shows that are out there. The first 2 episodes are a slog. It's slog. They are hard, man. When it came out and they put the first 3 episodes out, I tried watching it the day it released to the public, and I did not enjoy it at first.
I loved it from start.
I think from start to finish, I loved it too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
It was definitely like a snowball rolling down a hill.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Once it
Yeah.
gets going, it gets going. Once they
Mhm.
get to the house and they have vigilantes shoot the family.
It just sounds
It's
awesome.
a lot like Arcane for me. Like the first couple episodes, I was just like,
Mhm.
this is hard, and then it's just like, I love this. So yeah, I think that's definitely one of the good shows. He definitely had one of the better story arcs because when we saw him in Suicide Squad, he was heartless,
yeah,
and then he actually became like an actual symbol for peace.
yeah.
So I liked how he carried his story arc.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see that character from Suicide Squad, which to us was just a cold-blooded killer with no emotion, go to actually having a humane side, and you can see what he thinks and how he feels.
Yeah.
It lets you in on actually who Peacemaker is, and then you really feel for him. Like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm cool with this guy.
Except for the fact that he might have doomed all of civilization by killing the cow.
Well, we were doomed from the start.
Yeah.
One way or another, we were gonna die.
It's up to us to destroy ourselves, not up to them to try to save us. That's really what it all boils down to. They killed millions
I'd
to try
just
to
let him
save the
save
future.
me.
America.
I don't want to be ruled by a species that isn't even me. What makes them think they know better
Oh
for me than
my
I do? That's me. I'm
God, the plot from Peacemaker was literally Men in Black 1.
Yep,
Yeah.
it sure was.
Well, if we all knew that Men in Black was a Marvel comic.
Yep.
Well,
God dang it. Does that mean I have to hate Men in Black now?
no. Men in Black is great. No dare try to.
It just means that you get to love it that much more.
Yes.
Yeah.
From
I
the
did get a
table.
pop quiz.
No, with no pop quiz for the day.
No pop
That's
quiz?
perfectly fine because I haven't.
I don't get to look like a dumbass.
But that is all for today. Today it's been fun.
It's been
Final
real fun.
words, gentlemen. Jake, starting with you.
Watch Peacemaker. Go to movies. Formulate your own opinions. Did you enjoy it? Is it enjoyable? That's how you should view a movie. You know?
That's it.
That's a good
Agreed.
one. Fireball.
Final thought?
Your final thoughts.
Final thought is, they say nothing is impossible, but I call bullshit because I do nothing every day.
Fair enough. Guy man.
Stay in school. Don't do drugs. And if you do, make sure it's only the hard ones. And also be sure to drink a lot of water in your day because you need water to survive.
Yeah.
70%. Your body is 70% water. You learned that from school.
Exactly.
And-
So stay in it and stay off that weak shit.
Cody? Brody?
Yes, Cody.
I'm gonna go ahead and just not with you two right now. Pretty much everything that this kind man over here said. Formulate your own opinion.
Hey, I was encouraging the
It's a good
youth.
time.
He was.
Movies are there for a reason to enjoy, so enjoy it.
It's all called entertainment.
Hey, Sirius, we appreciate your love
Yeah.
for the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
And-
Thank you.
My final words are: don't write a check that your ass can't cash. Because that is a mistake because your ass is not a bank. Good night!
Bye.